30 for 30, ESPN, self-efficacy and the athlete.
Hi, I'm Jesus Christ, and I'm your host for today's 30 for 30 on self-efficacy and athletes. I'm not here to preach, but I'm here to give you the behind-the-scenes story of some of the best athletes of all time. Like Joe Montana, man has 5 Super Bowl rings. Messi, one of the greatest soccer players of all time. LeBron James, he's good, but kind of cocky. Tony Romo, how did he get in here? But Tim Tebow, you might not have been the best, but man, this story is great. So a few of you might be wondering why ESPN picked me to do the 30 for 30 on self-efficacy and athletes. Well, not only am I a coach, and I'm a therapist, but most of all, I'm your biggest motivator. I've been there for you since day one. I mean, come on, why does everyone thank me at the end of their speeches? The reason why I like this story so much wasn't just because he liked me so much, but because he listened. Little Timmy wasn't always so confident. I had to build that little piggy bank of his in confidence. So, you're wondering how I built that little piggy bank. I did a few simple things. First, I set some really strict guidelines for that kid. And I had to control that stress and arousal level that he couldn't necessarily manage all the time. I mean, come on, there's cheerleaders, it's college, all this other stuff. Goal setting for little Timmy wasn't too hard, but he started at a very young age. I have his actual goals from age 17. As you can see, he did his performance goals. He wanted to be the best QB of all time and, of course, best Christian. Then he wanted to be have proper throwing technique and good footwork, which sometimes his footwork was better than his throws. Then he had short-term goals of improving accuracy and scoring more touchdowns. Not off the field, though. And, of course, his long-term goal wanted to play in the NFL and hang out with me into heaven. Then we have subjective goals, trying his hardest and pleasing me. Objective, making a college team, because he was 17, so it was near future. And we have his outcome goals. He wanted high numbers of touchdowns, low numbers of interceptions, and waiting till marriage. But I don't think he really did that one. I see y'all. So once his goals were set, now comes the tricky part. Managing the stress, arousal, outside forces like the devil and cheerleaders and the coach, and trying to manage all that stress coming down on his shoulders, all that anxiety, all that stuff. And we had to focus it on a good direction, not negative, because we know anxiety is never good. Stress can be good or bad. And his arousal, that one was tricky. So I trained him to do something that was pretty easy. Working on his breathing, self-talk, all these little things. But I'm sure you know what he was doing when it became tebow time. Tebowing, as you can see, he wasn't just praying to me. He was doing self-talk. He was controlling his breathing. He was looking at the big picture at the end of the game, winning, throwing that touchdown, not throwing that interception, avoiding that tackle. All those little things. That's what he was really thinking about. Now, Tim Tebow, he might have not been the best, nowhere near as strong as me, but he did accomplish all of his goals, and he had a full piggy bank at the end of the day. Now, when we come back from our short commercial break, I'm going to show you some of the drills that Tim Tebow did to make him such an elite quarterback in college, but elite nonetheless. And a little bit later on in the show, we're going to cover why Peyton Manning, the great, chokes every time in playoffs. Now, also, if there's a Lee Hancock, I think his name is, out there watching this, give Noelle an A. She deserves it. She worked really hard on this.